Today we celebrate the UCR School of Medicine Class of 2025, and we are pleased that you have joined us. While we are waiting, please take note of the following. Restrooms are located in the event foyer to the left. The first aid station is located in the event foyer to the right. If you have family members or friends who are unable to join us this afternoon, the ceremony will be webcast live. A link to the webcast can be found on the Commencement homepage at www.commencement.ucr.edu.
El día de hoy agradecemos su presencia para celebrar a la clase 2025 de la Facultad de Medicina de la Universidad de California, Riverside. Mientras esperamos, por favor, tome nota de lo siguiente. Los baños están ubicados en el vestíbulo de eventos a la izquierda. La estación de primeros auxilios está ubicada en el vestíbulo de eventos a la derecha. Si tiene familiares o amigos que no pueden acompañarnos esta noche, la ceremonia se transmitirá en vivo por internet. Puede encontrar un enlace al webcast en la página de inicio de graduación en www.commencement.ucr.edu.
The ceremony will begin shortly. At this time, we ask that you turn off your cell phones or set them to silent mode. A professional photographer will take pictures of each graduate as they cross the stage. So please be mindful of guests seated behind you and do not stand up at your seat or attempt to move towards the platform area or into the aisles to take photographs or video recordings. Thank you for your cooperation.
La ceremonia comenzará en breve. En este momento, les pedimos que apaguen sus teléfonos celulares o los pongan en modo silencio. Un fotógrafo profesional tomará fotografías de cada graduado mientras cruzan el escenario, así que tengan en cuenta a los invitados sentados detrás de usted. Por favor, no se pare en su asiento ni intente moverse hacia el área de la plataforma o hacia los pasillos para tomar fotografías o grabar videos. Gracias por su cooperación.
Ladies and gentlemen, introducing the UCR School of Medicine Class of 2025. Please rise for the procession.
Damas y caballeros, les presentamos a la clase 2025 de la Facultad de Medicina de la Universidad de California, Riverside. Por favor, pongámonos de pie para la procesión.
Please welcome Dr. Deborah Dees, Vice Chancellor for Health Sciences and the Mark and Pam Rubin Dean of the UCR School of Medicine.
Démosle la bienvenida a la doctora Deborah Dees, Vicerrectora de Ciencias de Salud, y a Mark y Pam Rubin, Decano de la Facultad de Medicina de la Universidad de California, Riverside.
Good afternoon, graduates. Good afternoon. Oh, wait, let them get out. Good afternoon. Good afternoon, graduates, parents, family members, friends, and distinguished guests. Welcome to UCR School of Medicine Commencement and Hippocratic Oath Ceremony for the class of 2025. It brings me great joy to see everyone in attendance today, and I am so happy we could make this day possible. To begin the ceremony, please rise for the national anthem. Please take your seats. We at UCR would like to respectfully acknowledge our responsibility to the original and current caretakers of this land, water, and air, the Cahuilla, Tonva, Luceño, and Serrano peoples, and all their ancestors and descendants, past, present, and future. Today, the UCR campus is home to many indigenous peoples from all over the world, including UCR faculty, students, and staff. And we are grateful to have the opportunity to live and work on these homelands. Class of 2025, this is your moment, the culmination of your educational experiences leading to your Doctor of Medicine degree. As you know, the creation of this medical school took a village. Innumerable community members and visionary leaders came together to make the UCR School of Medicine a reality for inland Southern California and for you, our future physicians. I would like to recognize and thank a few individuals here today whose leadership and vision played an integral role in making the UCR School of Medicine a reality. We're also honored by the presence of many community leaders, supporters, and volunteers who contribute their vision and insights to support our path of excellence in education, research, clinical care, and service to the community. As I call your name, please stand so we can express our gratitude for your efforts. Michael G. Ullman and Vice Chancellor Emeritus Peter Hayashida. Marcy Coffey and Emily Gopez of Inland Empire Health Plan. Members of the School of Medicine Community Advisory Board. Thank you. You may be seated. Now I would like to recognize those members of the university leadership who have joined us for this evening's ceremony. Will all university leadership in attendance please stand to be recognized? Thank you. You may be seated. I would also like to recognize the School of Medicine leadership here today. Will all the School of Medicine leadership in attendance please rise? Thank you. You may be seated. We also have members of the School of Medicine faculty with us. Will the faculty please rise? Thank you for joining us for this celebration. You may be seated. Finally, I want to give a special welcome to the family members and friends of our graduates. You have played an integral role in helping our students reach this milestone, and we thank you for your commitment. Graduates, on behalf of the administration, faculty, and staff of UC Riverside, I extend my warmest congratulations to you. Class of 2025, this commencement in Hippocratic Oath Ceremony marks a very important milestone in your journey of becoming physicians. 4 years ago, you entered medical school during an ongoing pandemic, a global pandemic. While I looked forward to your journey during medical school, I could have never imagined or predicted the challenges you would face, nor the necessary changes we would make to prevent disruption in your medical education. During the past 4 years, you have demonstrated ingenuity, resilience, and adaptability. You have embodied the principles of compassion and humanism in medicine that we discussed at your white coat ceremony when you entered medical school. Reaching today's milestone is a testament to your dedication and persistence. I'm sure that your family, friends, and loved ones here today would agree that throughout your time in medical school, you have pushed yourselves to your limits, advocated for your patients, and grown as individuals and future physicians. I am delighted that we can come together to celebrate your achievements and to welcome you into the medical community as physicians. UCR School of Medicine is a community-based medical school with a bold and audacious goal of improving the health of people who live in inland Southern California region. Your diligent efforts over the last 4 years serve as proof of your passion and commitment to this mission. We are proud to celebrate your accomplishments and wish you well as you take the next step in your residency training, where you will build on your medical education and become more specialized in your clinical expertise. This marks another critical step in the process of lifelong learning. Many of you have earned special awards and scholarships during your time at UCR School of Medicine, and several of you are members of the Distinguished Heider Scholars Program. You've demonstrated the extraordinary leadership attributes we recognized in you when you were admitted to UCR School of Medicine. This year, 76% of our students will remain in Southern California for their residency training. "37% will remain in the Inland Empire." And, okay, yes. And 66% of our students are entering primary care and the much needed shortage specialties of family medicine, internal medicine, pediatrics, obstetrics and gynecology, psychiatry, and general surgery. This is a remarkable outcome. It speaks to the dedication you apply to your studies and clinical training, as well as the commitment of our faculty and staff to your success. Collectively, as a class, you've shown your commitment to our medical school's mission and have evoked a spirit of service, integrity, and excellence that is second to none. I'm thrilled that this year we are joined by Javier Becerra, who served as the 25th Secretary of the United States Department of Health and Human Services. I know that he shares in my eagerness to congratulate you on your success and welcome you into the next stage of your medical education. Class of 2025, by now, you are familiar with my favorite African proverb. If you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go far, go together. You have gone a long way in just a short 4 years, and you will continue to go far into the future. Thank you, and congratulations. It is now my pleasure to introduce the 9th Chancellor of UC Riverside, Kim A. Wilcox.
Thanks, Dean Dees. Welcome, family and friends, and congratulations, graduates. It's great every year to have the privilege of being a part of this fun event to recognize all of your achievements. In just a few moments, you're going to be asked to take the Hippocratic Oath. And for those of you who haven't heard it before, it's long. So you just get ready. Lots of words. But there's 2 words in there that I'd ask you to think about carefully today. And that's sacred trust. With your acceptance of that oath, you will also be accepting a sacred trust. Now, sacred has a Latin root, sacrare, which means to set aside, or set apart, or to dedicate. You will be, today, setting yourself apart from much of the rest of the world. Think for a minute. You'll be on a plane someday, and you'll hear, "This is the cockpit. Is there a physician on the plane? There's a patient who needs help. Please ring your call button." You'll be the person who reaches up to push the button, not knowing if it's going to be a heart attack or indigestion or somebody who's just had too much drink. That's your setting yourself aside from everybody else in the plane to be the person who's called upon to meet that need. But the other word, dedicate. You're going to dedicate yourself. You're going to dedicate your professional career to something. And it's easy to think about dedicating yourself to your patients. You've spent 4 years learning diagnostic tests and how to make a diagnosis and how to choose a treatment and then monitor the progress after the treatment. That's easy in some sense, to think about dedicating yourself to a patient or your patients. But I'd ask you to think about the broader dedication to health, to the health of everyone's patients, to the health of the society and health of the nation. We unfortunately are at a time when those pieces are under threat. We have people who are trying to take resources away. Rather than increasing access to health care and quality health care, there's an effort to reduce access to health care. You today will be taking an oath to dedicate yourself to addressing that as well. And I hope that you take that responsibility seriously, because there are arguably few times in my life that it has been more important than it is right now. So today, sacred trust to everybody in this room and beyond, to set yourself apart in special ways and dedicate yourself to a different future for individuals and for the collective. I have no doubt you're going to do great at that, because you are among the very best students in the country. We selected you for that purpose. We selected you for your abilities broadly and your values. You came, you made us proud, you made us a better university, and I know that you'll go forward and make us a better world. Congratulations, everyone.
Thank you, Chancellor Wilcox. I now ask Dr. Daniel Teraguchi, our Executive Associate Dean for Student Affairs and the Salma Hyder Endowed Chair for the Thomas Hyder Program, to the podium. Dr. Teraguchi will introduce our student speaker.
It is my pleasure to introduce our this evening's speaker, Zeta Wright. I've worked with her all through the medical school, and it's my pleasure to introduce her. Zeta Wright is a medical student committed to health, equity, advocacy, and community-based care. Before medical school, she worked at a federally qualified center in the Inland Empire, serving uninsured and unhoused patients. And as a multi-term class representative, she has led advocacy efforts and strengthened communication with administration. Through her designated emphasis in Hablamos program, she has worked with Spanish-speaking communities and contributed to research on health disparities. During her time at UCR School of Medicine, she has received many awards and scholarships, including this year's Dean's Social Justice Award. She will begin a residency at Harbor UCLA in a few weeks for neurology, where she hopes to further explore her interest in epilepsy and sports neurology. She apprises to work with both vulnerable populations and athletes, combine both clinical care with advocacy to improve neurological health outcomes. Please join me in welcoming to very soon Dr.-to-be Zeta Wright.
Thank you, Dean Teraguchi, for the kind words. Hello, everyone. My name is Zeta Wright, and I'm super honored to be here representing my class for the very last time as a 2025 student speaker. Shout out to all of the other nominees, and thank you, class, for the votes. For the last few years, I've been fortunate to serve as a co-class representative alongside the incredible Dr. Mahfoud Sadi. Moof, you are an incredible teammate and an even better friend, and it truly has been a privilege to work with you these last few years. To the faculty, staff, Tracy, Olivia, Lisbeth, Stephanie, to name a few, the financial aid department, our mentors, LACE preceptors, upperclassmen who are now residents, and the tutors, especially Dr. Hania Shaheen. Thank you. Your guidance, time, and support has contributed to us making it to this very day. And to our family, friends, spouses, partners, and pets that voyaged on with us as we navigated our way, thank you for your unwavering support, encouragement, and love. We are grateful to you for being kind to us when we would text back days, 2 weeks later, for the home-cooked meals after long days on rotations, especially after eating hospital food, and for the belief in us during every final, especially during our STEP examinations. Unfortunately, we still have a few more exams to go, so please continue to bear with us. And to the loved ones that we lost along the way, who are often the catalyst for why many of us committed to medicine, we miss you, we thank you, and we will continue to make you proud. Now, to my classmates, I want to start off by saying, in the words of Dr. Raul Tully, congratulations, legends. I wish I could say that I'm surprised that we made it, but after getting to know you all these last few years, I would expect nothing less. I recently rewatched our match day and saw a lot of your posts online, and it made me happy to know that the medical field is going to gain some truly incredible doctors. Thinking back to just a few years ago, when we finally got the call that we had been accepted into medical school, the feeling of joy and excitement that finally we would be starting on our journey towards becoming doctors, and we finally made it past the hardest part, which is getting into medical school. And then, of course, we started medical school and learned that it was only the beginning of the hardest part. From the first days during August orientation, walking from Lot 13 in the scorching Riverside heat, much like today, in business professional clothes, there were no words to describe what we were going to be getting ourselves into. The endless hours of studying, supplied by coffee and energy drinks, shout out to yerba mate, the sacrificed time with family and friends, that one time you cried and questioned why you chose this route. For some of us, we cried again. Studying for never-ending exams, all of third year and its 3 out of 5 evaluations, and going through the match process during fourth year. All of these challenges, and yet we made it. Maybe with a few scrapes and bumps in the road, but out of the nearly 8,000 applicants who applied for the 74 seats we are currently sitting in, therefore making it a less than 1% chance to get here, we made it. I hope you take today and the next few days to really celebrate the fact that we not only survived medical school, but in just a few moments, we will officially be called doctors. Though we may have started at UCR School of Medicine a few years ago, the real journey, however, began many years before. For some, it started in childhood after following the footsteps of family members. For others, you paved your own way as a first-generation doctor for your family. But we all came here wanting to make a change in the communities and patient lives that we serve, and UCR School of Medicine allowed this development. We learned all things medicine, but most importantly, we learned about people. Learning alongside classmates from diverse backgrounds, from first-generation students from immigrant families, to career-changing parents, we learned to expand not only our networks, but also the way that we view medicine. As medical students who served many diverse communities across Southern California, we learned that sometimes the best treatment option we can give someone is to simply listen and recognize when a simple human interaction is all that is needed. My apologies. We embark on this new journey to residency programs across the country. It is important to remember our why medicine. In a world that is forever evolving and forever changing, we will be challenged as physicians physically and at times question our own values. But if we keep our why medicine as our center point, it will allow us to make the best decisions both for ourselves and for our patients. It is impossible to ignore the current state of the world and how that affects medicine globally. As physicians who may be challenged by this fact, our job is simply to take care of people safely and to the best of our abilities. Regardless of where they are from, what they believe, who they are, what language they speak, everyone deserves to be treated like a human being. Maya Angelou once said, "I've learned that people will forget what you said, people will forget what you did, but people will never forget how you made them feel." We must continue to be advocates for patient safety during their most vulnerable times. While outwardly we appear to be different, in anatomy and through medical imaging, we have both seen and learned that underneath it all, we are foundationally the same. Therefore, as we go out into our own communities, especially vulnerable communities, it is important to remember that every patient is somebody's somebody. As we end one era and begin a new one, we must remember that we cannot help others until we first help ourselves. Getting to this day means that we dedicated a lot of time and effort, which at times came at the expense of ourselves. Residency, unfortunately, will be no different. In this career where we are expected to be nearly perfect and dedicate almost every ounce of ourselves to our career, it is impossible to do so without burning out. Therefore, we must take care of ourselves and ask for help when it is needed. It does not make you weak or less of an outstanding doctor. It makes you human, just like your family, friends, and patients. So be kind to and take care of yourself, and I hope that your patients get to not only experience how incredibly brilliant and hardworking you are, but also get to meet the unique, funny, and caring human you are too. Before I end this speech, I wanted to recognize my support system. To my grandmother, who's here today, I love you, thank you. To my grandmother, who unfortunately passed a few weeks before I started medical school, I miss you and I wish you could have seen who I turned into. To my brother, I guess we can mutually say that I'm mom's favorite today. To my mom, there aren't enough thank yous that I could give you for all that you've done for me. Thank you for showing up to literally everything. I was quite the ambitious child, mainly because I wanted to be better than my brother at everything, but also because I knew you would take my brother and I to Chuck E. Cheese when our report cards came out. Most importantly though, thank you for instilling in me to always have faith in God and love for all people. To the rest of my family and friends, thank you for the love, support, and prayers. Please continue to do so as I go through residency. I definitely will need it. I did want to make one additional shout out to someone who recently retired from UCR School of Medicine and has been so pivotal to so many students here at UCR, both in the past, present, and future. So congratulations, Dean Simmons, on your retirement. It is well deserved. And now I leave you all with one last quote. An African proverb, which you may have heard from a wise woman once. If you want to go fast, go alone. But if you want to go far, go together. Congratulations, everyone, and thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Wright. It is my great pleasure to introduce this evening's keynote speaker, Javier Becerra. Javier Becerra was born in Sacramento, California, to immigrant parents, a construction laborer and a clerical worker, and was the first in his family to graduate from a university and become a lawyer. He dedicated his life to public service. He started his career as a legal advocate for individuals with mental illness, then served 12 terms in the U.S. House of Representatives, where he championed key health care reforms, including the Affordable Care Act, lowered Medicare costs for seniors, and protected American Social Security disability insurance from painful cuts. In 2017, Congressman Becerra became California's Attorney General, where he led efforts to protect California's privacy and consumer rights and hold large corporations and the opioid industry accountable. He defended both the Affordable Care Act and the DACA program for Dreamers all the way to the Supreme Court and won. From reproductive freedom to clean air and water, Attorney General Becerra protected Californians from federal administration attacks, suing the federal government more than 100 times. In 2021, Attorney General Becerra became the 25th Secretary of the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, where he oversaw the operations of Medicare, the ACA, Medicaid, the Food and Drug Administration, Center for Disease Control, and the National Institute of Health. As HSS Secretary Javier Becerra was in charge of a budget twice as large as the Department of Defense and larger than the entire national budget of all but 6 countries in the world. Under his leadership, America achieved the highest level of health care coverage in history, with more than 300 million Americans possessing their own health insurance. He successfully led the first ever negotiations to lower prescription drugs prices that pharmaceutical companies charge millions of Medicare beneficiaries, reducing prices up to 80%. And he successfully executed the Biden administration's campaign to end the COVID pandemic, which was killing thousands of Americans every day and ravaging our economy in January 2021. After 4 years of intense investment and collaboration with state and local health authorities, an unprecedented and historic 700 million COVID vaccines were administered in America. Javier is married to Dr. Carolina Reyes, a maternal fetal medicine specialist and professor of medicine at UC Davis Medical Center. Together, they have ushered into adulthood 3 accomplished daughters, Clarissa, Olivia, and Natalia. Together, they are living the American dream. Please join me in welcoming Javier Becerra.
Okay, bear with me. I'm going to try to do what the younger folks do and use an iPad here. Dean Dees, to you, Chancellor Wilcox, and to the esteemed team at the UCR School of Medicine, thank you for the invitation to celebrate with all of you today. To all the parents and families rejoicing out there, I remember that. Congratulations to you. One more proud moment and one less tuition payment, so celebrate. And of course, most importantly, to the graduates, the extraordinary graduates of the class of 2025. If I could just say to you, salud, which appropriately means to your health in Spanish. So congratulations to you for what you do. I know, graduates, that I stand between you and that diploma, but for just a moment, I'd like you to take a breath. And take a deep breath. And as you slowly exhale, replay those defining moments that you have experienced that got you here today. There should be some tough moments that you remember, but I should also begin to see some smiles begin to crack your faces at the same time. I like to say, if you want to know where a leader will take you, know where they've come from. Where, I ask our graduates, have you been these last several years? Where, I pray, will you take us? We all want to know, because this is real. You are the future of medicine and of public health. The health of our families, our nation, our economy, of the world, literally, rests on your shoulders. No pressure, by the way, no pressure. Now, look at those around you. Do they look different? They should. They are no longer your classmates. They are now your teammates in this fight for universal quality health care, for science over politics, for better hospital food and fewer night calls. We all need those good teammates. I spent years in Congress battling alongside many colleagues trying to pass the Affordable Care Act. In the wealthiest country in the world, The number of Americans without health insurance coverage at that time was approaching 60 million Americans when we finally succeeded in 2010 to pass the Affordable Care Act. 10 years later, this time as Attorney General of California, my teammates and I had to defend the Affordable Care Act all the way to the Supreme Court. And as Dean Dees mentioned, we won. So when I became the Secretary of the Department of Health and Human Services in 2021, I absolutely needed my A-team to fight for the millions of Americans who couldn't go to the doctor or take their child to the hospital without fearing that they'd lose their house or go perpetually into debt. But 4 years later, by January 2025, after crossing the country and reaching out to so many uninsured Americans, even in the middle of the worst pandemic any of us had ever experienced, we got more Americans signed up for health insurance coverage for their families than ever in the history of the United States of America. Today, as Dean Dees mentioned, more than 300 million Americans can now access their doctor that they need or that hospital, knowing that they are insured. That's why you and your teammates, graduates, are here today to make a difference, to restore America's faith that we see them and we care about their struggles. This is where we call your number so you can take the field. You see, to many Americans, we still don't see them. They don't believe us when we say that we understand what they're struggling through. They can't accept that we are going forward and leaving them behind. Because remember, children are once again needlessly dying of measles in America, a disease we had worked so hard to eradicate. Avian flu is hovering just around the corner, and not far away, Ebola still threatens. And as if viruses, bacteria, and natural disasters like hurricanes, floods, and wildfires weren't enough, we also have to contend with man-made disasters. Why is it that the federal government is halting medical research that helps fight cancer? Why did the federal government shut down CDC collection of injury prevention data that helps us tackle child abuse, drownings, or car crashes? Why is this administration slashing funds for Meals on Wheels for our seniors? And why did they pull America out of our partnership with the World Health Organization at a time when the world needs more, not less collaboration to stop disease and death from spreading, including to our shores? So graduates, hurry up and grab that diploma. We're putting you in the game. Your time at UCR has been shaped by an institution dedicated to putting you in the game where you are needed most. For that, Dean Dees, to your team, your faculty, your staff, we are eternally grateful. Doctors, if I may be among the first to call you that, at UCR, you have been challenged to think critically, to question assumptions, and to master the complexities of medicine and health in a rapidly changing world. I hope you have grappled with social determinants of health as well. I know you recognize that health is not merely the absence of disease, but a fundamental human right, one that is inextricably linked to social, economic, and environmental factors. This is a world with unprecedented challenges. We may not get to choose the challenges of our time, but we do get to choose how we meet them. In the USA today, Black and Indigenous women are 2 to 3 times more likely to die from their pregnancy than white women. 9 out of 10 Americans in this country believes our country is experiencing a mental health crisis. Drug overdose deaths surpassed 110,000 in 1 year with the onset of the COVID pandemic. And extreme heat and the escalating climate crisis are both leading to superstorms, major flooding, urban wildfires, and devastating our communities. These challenges demand innovative solutions, collaborative action, and a deep commitment to social justice. Remember, you're not here just inheriting these challenges. you're inheriting the opportunity to solve them. That was at least our mindset when I was secretary at HHS. For the women anxiously facing the pressures of motherhood with their new babies, we extended Medicaid postpartum care coverage from just 60 days for the entire year to 365 days for mom and baby. For Americans experiencing a drug overdose or mental health crisis, we launched 988. I hope you've heard of it. It is like 911 for those who are experiencing mental health or drug abuse challenges. That is a nationwide 3-digit number that serves you if you are contemplating suicide, if you're not able to handle the stresses with your mental health. We made Narcan, which can safely reverse an opioid drug overdose, available over the counter. And I hope you've heard the news. In 2024, our last year at HHS, drug overdose deaths dropped by 27%. 30,000 fewer sons and daughters who have died senselessly, the largest one-year decrease ever recorded. To further move our healthcare system from one that principally treats illness to one that promotes wellness, HHS has championed and become a partner in the Food is Medicine movement. Our work at HHS and our successes were not a matter of luck. They were not accidental. And they were not easy. They were intentional. We chose to meet that challenge. Graduates, you have chosen a path that is not always easy and often unseen, but it is undeniably vital. The well-being of communities, the pursuit of health equity, the prevention of suffering. That's your choice. And it speaks volumes about who you are. So, be intentional. Attack your work with what I call ganas. It's a Spanish word, G-A-N-A-S. I always tell folks, don't look it up because you're going to find desire as the definition. That doesn't say it. When I grew up, if I was told, tienes que tener ganas, it meant guts, grit, and game, all packaged in one. Attack your work with ganas. Doctors, you are stepping into a world that needs your passion, your integrity, your courage. As you stride forward and accept your diploma, carry with you the spirit of your Hippocratic Oath. It's going to be a lot briefer, Chancellor, than the actual reading of it. So here's what I think your Hippocratic Oath is all about. Lean forward. Lead with passion and compassion. Leave no one behind. Medical school should try that one. It's a little shorter than what you're going to hear in a little while. You are now officially, or at least in a minute or so, part of this proud team and tradition of healers. As Lin-Manuel Miranda said so famously in the play Hamilton, you are going to be in the room where it happens. Take that deep breath one more time. Get ready to seize that diploma. Now it's up to you to wield your superpower. And, as Lin-Manuel Miranda said, don't miss your shot. Graduates, doctors, future leaders, and healers, we thank you in advance for what you will do for our families. We praise you for having gone through the rigorous process of showing you're capable. And we know you are ready to hit the field and be the leaders we expect. Congratulations.
Thank you, former Secretary Becerra, for your inspiring message. Graduates, we are now at the moment for which you have worked so hard, the conferral of your MD degrees. The The degree, Doctor of Medicine, is awarded to those who have successfully completed a rigorous course of study at an allopathic medical school. Will the candidates for the degree, Doctor of Medicine, please rise? As Dean of the School of Medicine, I have the honor to present the candidates who have met all requirements for a Doctor of Medicine degree and are deemed worthy of this distinction. By virtue of the authority vested in me by the Regents of the University of California, I confer upon you the degree, Doctor of Medicine, with all the insignia, rights, honors, privileges, and responsibilities pertaining thereto. Congratulations. Graduates, please proceed to the platform. Dr. Cristina Granillo, Director of Academic Success, will introduce the graduates.
I am honored to present our doctoral degree recipients who will be hooded by Dr. Daniel Teraguchi, Executive Associate Dean for Student Affairs and the Endowed Chair of the Thomas Heider Program, and Dr. Nikki Mathal, Director of the MS 4-Year and Director of Critical Care Clerkship. Our Doctor of Medicine degree recipients are Eric Abedi, Prushila Luxmi Amatya, Madeline Andrade, Nayo Yofimia Animashan, Had Arif, Joanna Lynn Lucero Ballesta, Sarah Berlin, Vivek Varin Bhatt, Danae Ayana Bowen, Derek Owen Briner. Vanessa Buckley. Alexis Castillo. Navya Chauhan. Chloe June Lim Chung. Membi Dajani. Kimberly Del Toro. Simrina Dasar. Crystal Doe. Henry Duran. Christine Duvengian. James Michael Elkins. George Gu. Anjali Gulati. Johannes Haile. Catherine Hahn. Jason Hasagawa. Marina Nabil Joseph. Kirat Carr. Mariah Nahyun Kim. Myvi Nakle. David Lee. Omar Escobedo Leyva. Samantha Lee. Ashley Kendra Locke. Catherine Ann Lowe. Diana Medina Llerena. Chris Mateen Medezade. Roy Alexander Mendoza. Michaela Mizuno. Aliyah Mohammed. Jose Angel Morales. Tallene Lori Narcissian. Monica Winno. Alberto Núñez. Meghna Patel. Raisha Patel. Paul Michael Patlin. Fatima Natalie Garcia Perez. Judy Pham. Richard Hayu Pham. Jennifer Pinal. Otilia Popa. Sharmani Premanathan. Ansur Kazi. Kayhan Mohsen Rabani. Jasmine Regalado. Mahfoud Ramesh Sadi. Brian Henry Rodriguez Sangaling. Aya Shoker. Joshua Soler. Jake Ross Sternhagen. Annie Tagorian. Aisha Tariq. Caleb Luis Ting. Malcolm Tran. Marcia Trozes Meza. Rahul Tuli. Hector Alberto Villa. Katrina Viabert. Exada Michelle Wright. Jasmine Yu. This concludes the presentation of graduates. Please join me in congratulating them.
Congratulations, graduates. I now would like to take a moment to recognize the special service of those among graduating class, among our faculty and staff, and greater community who are serving in the U.S. military. We're proud to have in the class of 2025 a member of the U.S. Army who has just been promoted to the rank of captain, Jason Hasewaga. And now I would like to introduce Dr. Pablo Ho, Senior Associate Dean for Medical Education, who will administer the Hippocratic Oath.
Graduates and physicians in the audience, please rise to recite the UCR School of Medicine's Hippocratic Oath. The oath may be found on page 6 of your program. Please read along with me. Today, I begin my profession as a physician. As such, I will dedicate my life's work to improving the health and well-being of my patients and to the prevention of human suffering as a basic human right. As I continue my studies in the art and science of medicine, I will not lose sight of the importance of integrity and honor. I will use the skills and knowledge I have gained to heal and, above all, do no harm. I will honor always the profession of medicine, be gracious to my colleagues, counsel them when needed, and help sustain them in our shared service to humanity. I embark on this pathway having benefited from many pillars of support, faculty, mentors, and peers. Just as I have learned from those who preceded me, I will contribute to the growth of those who succeed me in the practice of medicine. I will remain cognizant of the limits of my knowledge, seek counsel when appropriate, and always pursue a path to better serve my patients, their families, and my community. Among the attributes most respected in physicians, I will embrace compassion, empathy, ethics, and honesty. My service as a healer and my relationships with my peers and colleagues will not be adversely affected by race, ethnicity, religion, nationality, age, physical or mental ability, financial or social status, sexual orientation, or gender identity. I will be a strong advocate for patients in need and strive for justice in the care of the sick and the underserved. I will keep in strict confidence anything I see or hear of the lives of my patients. I understand the sacred trust that will be bestowed upon me as a physician. As such, I will hold myself above any wrongdoing or malice and never tolerate deception or fraud. In being true to this oath, I freely promise to uphold the finest traditions within the practice of medicine. Thank you, and be seated.
Thank you, Dr. Ho. And now, members of the class of 2025 would like to close with a special reflection recited in their native languages. This reflection represents the shared vision of the class to serve all patients to the very best of their abilities. and it symbolizes our mission to train a diverse cadre of physicians to serve our diverse communities. Will the students offering this reflection please join me at the podium? Listen to the different languages united in one common mission. Students, tell your language, then say the phrase.
May we leave here to cure when possible and to care always.
I'll be saying the phrase in Creole. Make we take care of we people them when we able for do am.
I'll be speaking in Nepali. Sambhav bhaisama upachar garna हामी यहाँबाट जाउँ सधैँ वास्ता गर्नै छौँ.
I will be speaking in Sindhi. Inje agya sabrinjo khayal rakhindis ane dardiyon ji jetro mumkin uje ilaj kandis.
I will be speaking in Vietnamese. Khi chúng ta rời đây để chữa lành nếu được, luôn luôn thương yêu chăm sóc.
I'll be saying it in Hindi. हम यहाँ से जाएं ये सोचकर जहाँ मुमकिन हो वहाँ इलाज करें और हमेशा देखभाल करते रहें.
I'll be speaking in Korean. 우리가 이곳을 떠날 때 남들을 항상 치료하고 도와줄 수 있게 도와주세요.
I will be speaking in Arabic. فلنغادر من هنا لنعالج عندما يكون ذلك ممكنا ولنعتني دوما.
I'll be speaking in Spanish. Que podamos salir de aquí para curar cuando sea posible, para cuidar siempre.
I will be speaking in Armenian. Կանենք ամեն որ հնարավոր է որ բուժենք, բայց նաև շատ լավ խնամենք.
I will be speaking in Farsi. برای درمان می‌رویم در حد امکان همیشه دلسوز.
Let it be so. Let us go forth. Success in medical school depends on the support of family and friends. Graduates, please join me in thanking all those who have helped you reach this day. Before we conclude, I would like to recognize the many volunteers who have given up their evening so that we can enjoy this beautiful ceremony. Please join me in thanking them. Now, to conclude this evening's ceremony, please join me in singing our alma mater, Hail, Fair UCR. The words are displayed on the video screen and appear in your program on page 13. Will everyone please stand?
UCR, fair alma mater, jewel of old UC. Fiat lux, a shining vision, light to set minds free. Seeking ever, yielding never, old Scots near and far.
great tower chimes ring clear. Standing tall twixt mount and desert, Scots all hold her dear. Seeking ever, yielding never, old Scots near and far. Waft our love back to the Highlands, hail fair UCR.
Thank you for joining us this afternoon. Please remain in your seats until the administrative party, faculty, and graduates have recessed.
Gracias por acompañarnos esta tarde. Por favor, permanezcan en sus asientos hasta que el grupo administrativo, los profesores y los graduados hayan salido.
Immediately following the ceremony, we hope that you will join us for a celebratory reception out on the patio.
Inmediatamente después de la ceremonia, esperamos nos acompañe a la recepción de celebración ubicada en el patio. Gracias.